To the Most High, happy Sabbath to you, brothers and sisters. Happy Feast of Dedication to you, brothers and sisters who are observing the Feast of Dedication. All praises to the Most High. I'm teacher Hezekiah with Law Life Israelite School. If you desire any information from this organization, please visit lawlifeschool.org. Lawlifeschool.org. There's a lot of information on that tab. There's a high holiday calendar that you can subscribe to for free, and it'll give you notification when upcoming high holidays are coming about if you desire. So all praise to the Most High. Today we're just going to read some history about the Feast of Dedication. These are things that you brothers and sisters should go and read also for yourselves. Read to your family, read to your children. You know how y'all sit down and told story. And let me say this before I even mention one of these pagan days. Us brothers and sisters who acknowledge ourselves as the children of Israel, Israelites, Hebrews, Jews, we do not look at the Feast of Dedication, also known as Hanukkah in society, as a replacement for Christmas. So when you, brothers and sisters, just be mindful, because it can be interpreted when you say, well, I don't celebrate Christmas, I celebrate Hanukkah. And when you say that, people look at that as a substitution for Christmas, and it's not. Yes, baby.
Particularly because this has tried to commercialize Hanukkah through the Jewish community. That is why. Y'all call it all kind of stuff now, festival of lights, and when you let lights out and they having all that. That's not what it's about.
Exactly.
You're getting ready to talk about and read through what it's really. It's whatever you heard, throw it in the trash, start over.
And that's why you should
get ready to hear what Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, which is a Hebrew version of the word dedication. You're gonna hear about what it's about. It's not any kind of version of Christmas. Israelites should not be decorating their homes with garland and lights around the house, and you should not be doing that. You should not be giving gifts to your children and exchanging gifts on like as if it's a version of Christmas.
And the fact that during our calendar, Hebrew calendars, and if y'all not in, putting in the intercalary month and things of that sort, when you following the Hebrew calendar. And I make this statement as well, because I talked to a brother, and they was talking about how, of course, some of y'all follow lunar Sabbaths and stuff like that, which is impossible, but you do. We are under the Gregorian calendar. We are in captivity. If you read the scriptures, you would know that we as a people and our forefathers and foremothers have been in a many of captivities. Even when we read about the Feast of Dedication, it's going to say the month Casalu. So what do you mean by that? It's we have to use common sense, and we are in captivity still, regardless of how free you flying around here. No matter how free you think you can walk up and down the street, if you don't know that you're in captivity and you're still oppressed people, you Negroes, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. But anyway, it just so happened that Hanukkah Feast of Dedication fell on that evening of the 25th, from the 25th at even until the evening of the 26th was the first day of it. It's an 8-day celebration. So a lot of people might say, "Oh, it's falling on Christmas." Christmas is pagan. That's just like saying you believe in a cartoon character.
Right.
It's pagan. And a lot of adults, of course, y'all know it. Even these children know that junk fake. And you know that you just want to get a present. Just go buy a present. Stop waiting till a certain day to get gifts, if that's the case. But anyway, we're going to read about it today. And you say, huh? Okay. But yeah, and if you don't have an apocrypha, please visit lawlifeschool.org and go to the library tab, and then the books and documents you'll find an apocrypha. Let's go ahead and get into it. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. Are you truly desiring the Most High scriptures? Or is this a fairy tale book to you? Or do you really believe, oh, this is a man-made book? Do you really believe this is a Edomite book? It's sad because you don't read it, and then when people make that statement, it's an Edomite book or known as Caucasian book, but you following all this other stuff that Caucasians do. And matter of fact, other heathens, other Gentiles, other people outside the nation of Israel. And when I say Israel, I'm talking about his name was Jacob. God changed his name to Israel. He had children, and we are the descendants of that. Not the state that you hear about in the news, not the state that's at war with the other people. Right? No. When it comes to this, the word Israel is referring to a people. Okay? But once again, you know, you got to desire the sincere milk of the word. That's how you're going to grow in understanding, studying, just reading your accounts. Y'all get so much information about history, but one thing for sure, they take away our history. Just like the captivity over here. They taking it out of school. They don't want to talk about slavery. They want to call it the transatlantic migration, like you came over here willingly. But you know, that's up to you. You want to continue to stay lost in understanding and knowledge, and you just want to chalk it up as it doesn't matter. Hey, that's your choice. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. And that's another thing with you brothers, you leaders. Stop being out here trying to force people to keep the Bible. Stop trying to force people to recognize and acknowledge who you are according to the scriptures as a nation. We got to stop that. That's a waste of time. Just be you. Be you. If you know you and you acknowledge yourself as the people of this book, live it, and it'll speak for itself. You don't have to scream. You don't have to congregate in thousands and thousands of numbers. It shows for itself by your lifestyle. And once we get over that vain way of being, we can live our life a little bit peacefully in this captivity. That's the comfort. It's going to be adversity. It's going to be hard times. But if you continue to try to prove yourself to the heathen, or even the brothers and sisters who you know are of your people but don't want to follow, you wasting your time. You wasting your breath. That's a fight that y'all need to put the glove, hang up the gloves, man. It's getting old. It's the same thing every year, every few weeks, every few months. Somebody spring up and they want to come and contest the Bible, or they want to say this or that. Just keep the commandments. I don't care what translation you got it in, because that's what it's going to tell you. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Read. Don't just go look at videos. Don't go just listen to audio. Read. Take your time to read. Read it. And if you do listen to like the audio versions of the scriptures, listen. Listen. And be truly desiring to really understand and learn. Not, oh, I'm at church and I'm just listening to a Bible scripture. I want to hear a gospel song. And y'all think that's holy. You think that's your life and that's your religious belief and that's what you do. That's your personal relationship with God. Man, the gig is up, man. Christ said, I come take the cloak off of your sin. You've been bamboozled. Let's go to 2nd Esdras right quick in the Apocrypha, chapter 14. And as I was talking to my wife, because I wasn't even going to even do all this. I got videos about Feast of Dedication year after year after year. Just like they play y'all Christmas movies or holiday movies, or y'all sit there and watch them reruns every year. It's a tradition in your family. I can just play one of the videos. But she made a good point. This stuff we have to read. It's not just for us. It's for our children. reading it to them, giving them the history, reading them the accounts, so they can carry on that same account and traditions righteously. Because y'all don't research Christmas. Y'all don't research Thanksgiving. Y'all don't care about Halloween and 4th of July. Y'all just do it. You just do it without fight. I got a day off. I'm finna go buy me a fresh outfit, and I'm going to the cookout. I got a day off. I'm finna go eat at such and such house, this house. I'm gonna get Blizzard. I'm gonna eat all the food I want. And y'all, that's all y'all care about. Serving the Most High? Who cares? God don't need me to serve him. He serves me. Y'all got it twisted. You think the Most High serve you? He gonna serve you a hot meal. Gonna burn them insides in and out. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 34 and 35. Therefore, if so be, you will subdue your own understanding. Subdue your own understanding, brothers. So stop banking on what you feel. Stop banking on family tradition. Our family traditions, especially in this paganism, has just been a treadmill of adversity, a treadmill of sin, a treadmill of lies, and we continue to follow it and follow it and follow it, and then we pass it on to our children, and they continue to run with that baton of wickedness, and then, you know, at the judgment day, you're going to be acting like, I didn't know. You knew better. Even though common sense ain't common anymore. But a Negro know that it's false. And I can't fathom, just like cats still walking around sagging their pants, I can't fathom brothers and sisters who open up the Bible, who go into church, but don't do nothing the Bible say. I don't even understand that. And then when you mention Feast of Dedication, you mention the high holidays and that, you just look at it like, what are you talking about? That's the Jewish people. Well, close their book then. What you doing in their book? Passover is a Jewish custom. It's in the book. Stop saying you believe in Christ. Stop saying you believe in Jesus. He did it. I could just read one verse when Christ kept the Feast of Dedication. You followers of Christ, you don't follow Christ. You follow this right here, your lip. 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 34. Therefore, so be you will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts. You got to change your mindset, the way you live. It's a lifestyle change. It's going to be the way you eat, the way you dress, what you participate in, how you deal with people. That's what this book, I always equate it as a manual. You have a manual for a computer. You have a manual that comes with a television. You have a manual that comes with phones and devices. You got manuals that come with lamps and ovens and stoves and microwaves. But that oven and that microwave manual, it can't fix one another. They're only particular for each other. Just like this book known as the Bible is our manual to fix us. And we need fixing. But you know, you all who think you're righteous, you go to church, you get your tithes and offerings, and the Lord is just blessing you. You got all these zeros and commas in your bank, or you privy to go and travel the world, or you eat so-called the finest, abominable foods that you like. Mm-hmm. And then when you put to death, just because you haven't been put to death is the main reason you continue in your foolishness. You think you ain't fell on hard time. But we all gonna perish. But on that second death, when you have to face the Most High, since you say you believe in it, then what? But anyway, subdue your own understanding, reform your hearts, and ye shall be kept alive. And after death shall the judgment come. What y'all gonna do then? Who you gonna point the finger at then? You can't point a finger at nobody with your wickedness. You're going to be held accountable for your own wickedness. I don't care if you was a team of wicked doers. You're going to be in your own lane when it's time for judgment. Y'all could have done the same crime. Y'all could do the same sin. Y'all could have been the platinum group of wicked. But y'all each, even in that, let's use that as a simple example. You're a music artist group, and y'all win a Grammy. They give each one of y'all a Grammy little statue, trophy. Just like when we perish, you each gonna get your own little time to stand before the Most High and His Son, and judgment shall be passed. And you won't be able to look back and say, "Well, it's my grandmama's fault. Oh, it's such and such's fault." You're gonna have a flame mirror saying, "Look at you, it's your fault." But anyway, for after death shall we obtain mercy. Will you obtain mercy? That's what you should be asking yourself. Don't think because you didn't give some money to the church, you're going to obtain mercy. Don't think you're going to, and let me say this too, the Most High show mercy upon whom He chooses. But I know for sure this book says if you don't keep His commandment, you shall perish and you shall hit that lake of fire. Since you think just because you're giving a little here and there and you think you do it, then you go talk about it. It's all in vanity. Verse 35, 2 Ezra 14:35, for after death shall the judgment come when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So, judgment day. Scripture talk about you going to every idle word you speak. Y'all better even watch the stuff that come out your mouth. The scripture even talks about even the thought of foolishness is sin. So you better be careful what you think about. And of course, the things that you carry out and act, you're going to be judged accordingly. We all going to be judged. You want equality? That's when you're going to get your equality. Everybody going to be judged according to their ways that they live their life. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17 and 4 right quick. Because, you know, people run up on us, happy this and merry this and oh this and that. We can't run around and say, oh, if we say happy Passover, they'll look at you weird. Man, do I look Jewish? I need to go look at myself in the mirror. He got me twisted. Y'all, happy Mother's Days and happy Father's Day. People ain't even parents. They got to hear it. People that lost their parents got to hear it. No consideration. No thought goes into it. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. But this is for the Negro. This is why the Most High say, we're going to discontinue from our heritage. Our culture, we discontinued from it. We think hip-hop is our culture. Yeah, we created in a way of doing music and stuff like that. We got some hand in that. Big hand, big arm. But our true heritage, our customs. Look at the other nations that's amongst you in this nation. Let's use Asian people. They got their cultures. They got their ways of doing stuff that's set in their culture. Let's see the Hamite, Canaanite, or what we call African people and their different cultures and sects and how they deal. You might see some of these ladies, they have on these, they be having the events, they have on these pretty garments. They be pretty dresses and they be all did up and the guys be in their tunics and whatever affair they having. And we're looking at, wow, look at their custom and look at what they doing. Then you look at us Negroes, oh, we over here throwing chicken box wings in the parking lot. We walk around here with our pants hanging off our behind. We sitting around here thinking we rap all this profane stuff and we idolize it. And like that's our culture. No, our culture, our traditions, our ways are in this what we know as the Bible. But you don't want to read it because you already been tricked there. Oh, that's a false book. But you follow falsehood. That's like that don't even make sense. That's an oxymoron. We follow falsehoods, but we don't want to follow the Bible because we say it's false. And then the ones who claim they follow the Bible don't follow that in the Bible because they say, oh, Jesus died and paid for it all. Boy, we living in despair. We living in confusion. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Most High, that's why you go read Deuteronomy chapter 28. It'll give you the first 15 chapters, give you the blessings when we're obedient to God. Then the 15 on down to the end of that chapter give you the curses. And part of the curse was we was going to discontinue from our heritage. When they snatched our forefathers and foremothers and brought them upon and scattered us through the Atlantic, the transatlantic trade, slave trades in all these areas, that's why they took your clothes off. You was getting disconnected right there, taking away whatever you was wearing. Then they kill off all those who had knowledge of our history, knowledge of who we were and how we conducted ourselves. Dead and gone. Now we grow up. That's why I'm a little compassionate or understanding when it comes to us. Because myself, I've kept Christmas, I kept birthdays and 4th of July's and whatever. But that's what we was raised up in.
Correct.
So when you see now you brothers who say you leaders and you warriors and you teachers and you prophets, y'all got to have that same compassion for your people when you trying to give them some knowledge. But you don't practice that because you fail to realize whoever be out on these camps and y'all got the camp signs, you used to be on the other side of that poster. You used to be on the other side of that camera looking at the videos and so-called learning. You was in that stuff too. So you got to have the same compassion on your brothers and sisters when you so-called trying to give them the truth or what y'all call wake up. You don't wake up nobody. The Most High do that. But anyway, we don't show that compassion. But we don't see that, this sister been raised this way. This brother was raised this way. This is thousands of years of indoctrination. But we get some scriptures in our belt and we King Kong gorilla. Thinking we master of the scriptures. And you nigga tonight, y'all Pharisee. All the Pharisees wasn't evil. So stop trying to use that as a derogatory comment toward brothers who will get on your butt when it comes to the scriptures. But anyway, we discontinued from our heritage. That's why we don't understand Feast of Dedication. That's why we don't understand Passover. That's why we don't understand Pentecost. That's why we don't understand Feast of Tabernacles and New Moons and the Sabbaths. We think it belonged to somebody else when it belonged to you, Negro. They even took the rainbow. You know what the rainbow stand for now? They even took a lot of stuff. But y'all don't care about all that. Let's get let's go to John chapter 10 and verse 22. Like I said, a lot of us, we ain't gonna read this stuff. We ain't not trying to learn it. Y'all don't even have to learn Christmas. Y'all just follow it. You don't have to learn 4th of July. I'm just off and I'm gonna go to some cookout. Not thinking, 1776. Where my people was at? Oh, they was chained together. Oh, they was serving the oppressor. Oh, somebody was getting their back beat out. Shoot, some of our people getting put to death right now and getting hung right now to this day. But we don't care. Fa la 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 la. You just want a gift. Get a job. Go buy yourself a gift. Get a gift of wisdom and understanding and obedience. That's what you need. John chapter 10 and verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter, so it falls around the winter time. And it was winter, and Jesus walked in the temple of Solomon's porch. Christ was there celebrating at the event of a feast of dedication at Solomon's temple. Because that was the temple that was taken over that we're going to read the history and had to be rededicated. But that's the Bible. I don't want to. That's a white man book. I don't want to follow. I don't want to hear all that. But you sit here and follow everything the Edomite say.
Everything.
All the things that Caucasian and other men. It ain't just the Caucasian. I always want to point the finger at the Caucasian people. It's other nations in cahoots with this foolishness and bringing their foolish ways. Even with us, we partake in it too. If the Caucasian was following this book, I think we are less likely to be put to death in the streets. We are less likely to be served injustice in the justice system, because these scriptures teach you how to be. So how they gonna create something they don't follow it? But that's your excuse to say I ain't keeping that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I got my personal relationship fine and dandy. You're gonna have your personal flame as well. But anyway, Christ himself, the Messiah himself, the Savior himself, Yeshua himself, Yahushua himself, whatever floats your boat, the word of God kept the Passover, kept the Feast of Dedication, known as Hanukkah. But you're a follower of Christ, but you don't follow that he do. Go look in the mirror, hypocrites. But anyway, let's get an account of this. Let's go to Second Maccabees. Let's go to First Maccabees first. I'm sorry. In the Apocrypha, if we don't have an Apocrypha, please visit lawlifeschool.org. Go to the library tab, and there is an Apocrypha there for you online. Maccabees chapter 4. Maccabees chapter 4. I'm sorry. 4, and I'm gonna start at 56. Second Maccabees. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
First Maccabees 4.
4.
Gorgeous.
And I wrote it down wrong.
5,000.
I'm just going to. I'll just start at 4. I was just gonna read some of it. I wasn't gonna read all of it.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get the what you saying? 36 or 56?
Yeah.
It started and it kept the dedication of the altar. 8 days.
I was just trying to get a good point to start at instead of just cutting it too short. Bump it. Let's go to Second Maccabees 1 and 18. Second Maccabees 1 and 18. Then I'll go backwards on that. Just give a quick gist of Feast of Dedication known as Hanukkah. Second Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 18. It says, "Therefore, whereas we are now purposed to keep the purification of the temple upon the 5 and 20th day of the month Caselu, we thought it necessary to certify you thereof, that ye also might keep it as a feast of the tabernacle, or as like that feast of tabernacle." So when we observe Feast of Tabernacles, we do that as a span of 8 days. The first day being a Sabbath, where you're not to work, it's a feast day, you convocate this, that, third, and that last day of it, we keep it as a Sabbath and all that as well, and feasting and convocation. Now, in between that, you can go to work. If it ain't falling on the 7-day Sabbath or in between time, you can go to work. I know a lot of misconception that you think that you would have to be off all 8 days.
We have a new moon coming up, so for those of you all, Monday evening to Tuesday evening is a new moon. So you will need Tuesdays off work, or Monday evenings if you work evenings off work,
Mm-hmm.
buying, selling, so on and so forth. And then it goes back into the feast day,
Go back
to the
into
eighth
it.
day.
Exactly. So that's another thing too. We have to make sure we explain that to people and know that, oh, I can't take 8 days off. No, it's the first and then the last day. Now we look at the Jewish community, the ones who partake and took our heritage and they put their face on it. They running everything. They running the work industry. They running the everything that's pretty much going on. They go home and shut down for 8 days. They can do it because they running everything. It's their businesses. You working for them. That's across the board. So when you see that, that's what a lot of misconception comes from too, because they'll see, oh, the Jewish people who keep it Hanukkah, they off. Yeah, they close their shops over. They spending the time with their family. But just to let y'all know, you don't have to take 8 days off. First day of the feast, last day of the feast are considered like Sabbaths. But if it's not falling on the 7-day Sabbath, you're able to cook. But if it's falling on 7-day Sabbath that first day, hey, prepare your food before then. And you can still feast. I just wanted to put that out there. Second Maccabees 1:18 again. Therefore, whereas we are now purposed to keep the purification of the temple upon the 25th day of the month, that's the 25th day of that month, Caselu, we thought it necessary to certify you thereof, that ye also might keep it, as the feast of the tabernacles, and of the fire which was given us when Nehemiah offered sacrifice after he had built the temple and the altar. So they was, pretty much giving some history on that as well. Because here's another misconception of uh, Hanukkah. You said something earlier. They say Feast of Lights. It's this story that we was running out of oil for the lights, and this one little oil we had kept for 8 days. That's why it's important for you to read, brothers and sisters. That wasn't it. And y'all will go ride down in wherever city y'all at, they put up all these lights and call it the Festival of Lights. That is not what Hanukkah is. That's not what the Feast of Dedication is. So just to make sure you get that out of your mind, that ain't it. Now, I said I had to travel back a little backwards. Let's go to 2 Maccabees 10. So we keep the Feast of Dedication, known as Hanukkah, for 8 days. First day being a Sabbath and a feast. Last day being a Sabbath and a feast. There was war going on. There was bloodshed being dealt with. Our people had to fight and get that temple back where they had profaned it. 2 Maccabees 10 and verse 10. But like I said, y'all don't really care about the history anyway. Y'all don't care about the history of Christmas. You just go do it. But anyway, now will we declare the acts of Antiochus Eupator, who was the son of the wicked man, gathering briefly the calamities of the war. So when he was come to the crown, he set one Lysis over the affairs of his realm, and appointed him chief governor of Cosera, and Phenice. For Ptolemy, that was called Macron, choosing rather to do injustice unto the Jews for the wrong that had been done unto them, and endowed to continue peace with them. So these were these wicked doers who was coming to get at us, who had took over our temple and wanted to fight against the children of Israel, against the Israelites. Continuing, for Ptolemy, that was called Macron, choosing rather to do justice unto the Jews. For the wrong that had been done unto them, endowed to continue peace with them. So we had one who wanted to bring some peace unto us while they was ruling. Whereupon, being accused of the king's friends before Eupator, and called traitor in every word, because he had left Cyprus, the Philometer had committed unto him, and departed to Antiochus, Epiphanes. And seeing that he was in no honorable place, he was so discouraged that he poisoned himself and died. So this cat died, killed himself. But when Gorgias was governor of the holds, he hired soldiers and nourished war continually with the Jews. And therewithal, the Idumeans, which is Esau, Idumea, having gotten into their hands the most commodious holds, kept the Jews occupied, receiving those that banished from Jerusalem, that they went about to nourish war. Then they that were with Maccabees made supplication and besought God that he would be their helper. And so they ran with violence upon the strongholds of Idumeans and assaulted them strongly. Then warned the hosts and kept off all and fought all upon the wall and slew all them and that fell into their hands and killed no fewer than 20,000. So there was war going on. It wasn't about no lights. This wasn't about no candle lighting for 8 days. Our people had went in there war. They killed 20,000 of the enemy. And because certain who were no less than 9,000 were fled together into two very strong castles, having all manner of things convenient to sustain the siege, Maccabees left Simon and Joseph and Zacchaeus also, and them that were with him, who were in now to besiege them, and departed himself unto those places which more needed for his help. So Maccabees left some other brothers in charge while they was at one part of the war, so he can go and assist at another area of war. Now they that were with Simon, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle, and took 70,000 drachms, and let some of them escape. So look at that. We at war. We got them besieged. When you besiege the city or area, you just pretty much surrounded it till they gonna waste all their resources, or they gonna, you waiting them out, or they just gonna come on out, right? So here you got some of our people fighting on our side, letting you know we wicked, man. We knew we were Israelites. We knew we were the Jews. So some of y'all who see brothers and sisters who say they woke and doing wickedness, they ain't no different. They ain't no different. These guys was able to get paid off to let some of the enemy go. So they got 1,000 drachmas, and let some of them escape. But when it was told Maccabees what was done, he called the governor of the people together and accused those men that they were sold their brethren for money, and set them enemies free to fight against them. Y'all, you call them sellouts. We call them raccoons and let me keep that other word to myself. But anyway, we had some sellouts. So he slew those that were found traitors, and immediately took the two castles, and having good success with his weapons and all things he took in hand, and he slew the two holds, more than 20,000. Another 20,000 put to death. So that's 40,000 people that had been put to death as we was fighting that war. And grabbing the temple again was just one of the things that happened in the midst of this war when these people came about us. Continuing. I'm in 2 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 23. And having good success with his weapons and all things he took in hand, he slew in the two holds more than 20,000. Now Timotheus, whom the Jews had overcome before, when he had gathered a great multitude for foreign forces and horses out of Asia, not a few, came as though he would take Jewry by force and armies. Here goes some more people. Like I said, all these nations around us was against us. That's why when y'all always point at, it's always in black and white. It's always we consider the white man after the black people. And let's get what the word black is a state that we in. Not your skin color. Not this shirt. This shirt color is black. So we know who the oppressed people is. We know who black people are. But anyway, these other nations was around about us was trying to get our people at the same time. But when he had drew near, they that were with Maccabees turned themselves to pray unto God and sprinkled earth upon their heads and girded their loins with sackcloth and fell down at the foot of the altar and besought him to be merciful to them, and to be an enemy to their enemies, and an adversary to their adversaries, as the law declareth. So after the prayer, they took their weapons and went on further from the city. And when they drew near to their enemies, they kept them by themselves. Now the sun being newly risen, sun oh you walked off. Sun newly risen, they joined both together, and one part having together with the virtue their refuge also unto the Lord for a pledge of their success and victory, and the other side making their rage leader in their battle. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews. This sounds like a fairy tale, huh, to y'all? That's why we always, when we read the scriptures, the Most High say He will fight for us if we obedient. The Most High will fight for us when we are obedient. The Maccabees and the brothers who assisted them, it was 3,000 of them against thousands of them. We had no weapons at one period of time, which I'm gonna go back into that. But the scripture right here telling you, if you believe in the scriptures, it's telling you. But when I'm back in Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 10 and 29. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews, and took Maccabees between them, and covered him on every side with their weapons, and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightning against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Most High sent 5 angels down, fighting with these brothers to destroy the enemy. But y'all Negro think y'all gonna do it by y'all selves. Y'all think y'all the battle axes. We won't even keep the Sabbath. Think the Most High finna come down here and fight for us? Not gonna happen. Verse 31. And there were slain of footmen 20,000, and 500 and 600 horsemen. As for Timothy himself, he fled into a very strong called Gazara, where Cheres was governor. But they that were with Maccabees laid siege against the fortress courageously 4 days, and they that were within, trusting in the strength of the place, blasphemed exceedingly and uttered wicked words. Just like we'll do. We think we're in a safe spot. We'll talk about the scripture. Like a lot of y'all think y'all safe because y'all don't keep the commandments and you got a decent job. You think you safe because you got materialistic things and you don't even know the Most High, but you claim you know God. Like these old wicked heathens. They got in this stronghold. We safe. Nah, we're just uttering wicked words against our people. Continuing. Verse 35 says, nevertheless, on the 5th day, early, 20 young men of Maccabees' company, inflamed with anger because of the blasphemies, assaulted the wall mainly, and with a fierce courage killed all that they met withal. Others likewise ascended after them, whilst they were busy with them that were within, burnt the towers and kindling fires, burnt the blasphemers alive, and others broke open the gates, and having received in the rest, the army took the city, and killed Timothy that was hid in a certain pit, and Charis his brother, and Apollophanes. When this was done, they praised the Lord with psalms and thanksgiving, who had done so great things for Israel, and giving them the victory. So we had got the victory and things of that sort, man. It's war going on. I read this because it was war. It went on lines. See, we don't want to hear that history. We don't want to hear about the death that transpired. We don't want to hear the Most High sending this. You think it's because you think the Bible's a fairy tale book. The Most High sent warriors to fight alongside the Maccabees brothers. Those other men who was with them. Those brothers who was courageous and keeping of the commandments. Now let's back up some. Let's go to Maccabees. First Maccabees 4. I just wanted to read that because I know, we just think it's a joke. We think it's worthy of these cartoon characters that y'all put up on Christmas times or any little movie now. Y'all got all this animated stuff that makes stuff just don't seem real. It doesn't seem real anymore. But when it comes to this book, this is real deal history. This is real deal life. This was a real deal accounts of people. That's why I always encourage you, brothers and sisters, to read for yourself. Go and read that history. You got time to sit on Facebook. You got time to be on Twitter. You got time to do all that. You got time to go and read some scriptures. You got time to go into the church. I'm gonna just start at verse 1. First Maccabees 4:1. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out the camp by night, to the end might rush in upon the camp of the Jews, and smite them suddenly. And men of the fortress were in guards. Now, when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army which was at Emmaus. While as yet the force were dispersed from the camp, in the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of the Judas. So, mean season correlates with the winter. But go out there and it be cold outside. It feels mean. Ooh, that's a mean wind that come through there and just freeze your fingers and toes and your face. Because I said that also because the scriptures talks about how the Feast of Dedication was during the winter time. So these brothers out here in the winter, in the cold, fighting. Verse 5 again, First Maccabees 4:5. In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas. And when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for said he, these fellows flee from us. But soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men. This is what I mentioned just a second ago. Judas Maccabees were with 3,000 men. Take it. Gorgias had over 5,000 footmen and 1,000 horsemen and other men amongst with him. So Judas had back verse 6, First Maccabees 4:6. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless neither had armor nor swords to their minds. Just out there ready. Here you see horses. Let's flip it to fast forward to this time and day. You go outside, we fit a battle out there in the war field. We out there 3,000 deep. We don't have no weapons. We don't have any bulletproof. We don't have no helmets on, none of that. We got some sticks possible. Here they come with tanks and horses and been skilled, been trained, been ready for war. Just imagine that. So of course they looking at us like, yeah, we finna take these cats out quick. Verse 6 again, First Maccabees 4:6. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed and compassed round about with horsemen, and they were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. That's what I'm saying. Y'all brothers and sisters, man, we can't be afraid, because you see there were a lot of these institutions and organizations, they feel because they so deep, y'all gonna be scared. It's like a scare tactic. The multitude of people sometimes gonna be against you, especially like when we speak upon these pagan days, things like that. So people gonna be against you, man. Your family gonna seem like a multitude of people against you because you say you don't do this, that, and third anymore. But anyway, back to this history. He told them, don't pay that no mind, that multitude. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Look at that. He giving history. He giving the encouragement. See, we don't even know this history to give the encouragement. It's lost in all the paganism and the ways of this world now. So Judas Maccabeus was encouraging his 3,000 soldiers that were with him. He said, remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, for peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before the face for our face today. He said, hopefully, mercifully, that the Most High will show his mercy and remember the covenant that he made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, a lot of y'all think y'all got it good, and cause we throwing on our friends. Man, this covenant was because of them. The covenant the Most High made with Abraham, the covenant he made with Isaac, the covenant he made with Jacob. You think because you run around here, you should be keeping the laws. That's the least thing you can do. That's what you best do. You don't get no pat on the back. You don't get no hero cookies. You don't get no cake baked for you. It's just like a kid. You go to school, we supposed to make good grades. Yeah, it's okay to motivate them, encourage them, and then send them here and there. But that's what we supposed to be. We supposed to be obedient. So he's encouraging them. He was encouraging them. He said, remember the covenant. So don't get it twisted, think it's all because of you. That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivers and saveth Israel. Israel. I got to clear that up right quick. Let's go to Genesis, because I know you'll be on these things and you have these algorithms and they say one word and y'all gonna think we talking about these people over here in this place and then we're not. So I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 20. Well, actually 32 and verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thy power with God and with men, and has prevailed. His name was Jacob. God changed his name to Israel. And it means, for as a prince has thy power with God and with men, and has prevailed. So when we read in this book known as the Bible, and it refers to Israel, it's talking about a certain group of people. Now, back to Maccabees chapter, First Maccabees 4 and verse 11 again. That so all the heathen, that's why I say, y'all stop running y'all trap so much and just do what you're supposed to do. They're going to know who the Most High saveth when he saveth them. Y'all, that's why we so caught up, man. We so busy. Man, we need to just shut our mouth and just action. As they say, action speak louder than words. Just keep the commandments and be quiet and wait on the Messiah. But it's, you know, y'all egos and pride, you know, y'all ain't gonna shake that off. I ain't gonna bump him. He don't know nothing. Anyway, verse 12. First Maccabees 4 and 12. Then the strangers lift up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judas sounded their trumpets. So joined battle. The heathen being discomforted fled into the plain. 3,000 men with no swords, no armor, fighting guys who are fully dressed in armor, ready to fight with the tools to go to war. They being discomfort. They running. Verse 15, howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword, for they pursued them unto Gezerah, and unto the plains of Idumea, and the Azotus, and Yamnia. So that there were slain of them upon 3,000 men. This done, Judas returned again with his host from pursuing them, and said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, and as much as there is a battle before us. So, you know, we just take the spoils. We don't conquer this spot. They got goods and gold and all kinds of stuff we need. He said, don't be greedy. Right. We still got to fight. It ain't over. So we'll come back. Just, you know, you pick out your little song. Okay, I'm going to put that over there to the side. I'm going to take that home. Take that little trinket home. Don't get too greedy. You'll be out there worrying about, man, I can't wait till I get home till I show my wife this gold. I can't wait till I get home to show off whatever I done got from war. While you over there occupy that, you don't got killed. Because your mind ain't focused. So that's why Maccabees told them to don't be greedy of the spoils, in as much as there is a battle before us. And Gorgias and his hosts are here by us in the mountain, but stand ye now against your enemy and overcome them. And after this, you may boldly take the spoils. After we finish fighting these cats, y'all get what you want. We're going to take it all. You can boldly get it. Boldly take the spoils. As Judas was speaking these words, there appeared a part of them looking out of the mountain, who, when they perceived that the Jews had put their host to flight and were burning their tents, for the smoke that was seen declared that was done, when therefore they perceived these things, they were sore afraid, and seeing also the host of Judas in the plain ready to fight, they fled everyone into the land of strangers. But they like, these cats, man, they ain't have no swords. They didn't kill all these people. We trained battlemen. We ready for war. We ain't going down there and mess with them. They left. They fled. Then Judas returned to spoil the tents, where they got much gold and silver and blue silk and purple of the sea and great riches. After this, they went home and sung a song of thanksgiving and praised the Lord in heaven, because it was good, because his mercies endure forever. Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day. Now all the strangers that had escaped came and told Lysias what had happened, who when he heard thereof was confounded and discouraged, because neither such things he as would were done unto Israel, nor such things as the king commanded him will come to pass. They come tell him, man, them Israelites beat us down, they killed us, we had to go. He mad. What? Y'all, but y'all, look at you, you're trained. How did these unarmed men take over this? He was mad because they thought they were going to put us to death. The intention was go kill them all. But no, Most High got something else for that, right? Verse 28. The next year, therefore, following, Lysias gathered together 70,000 choice men of foot. He got 30,000 foot soldiers, choice men. So these chosen men are trained warriors, ready to fight, skilled warriors. men of foot, and 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. He came with 5,000 horsemen.
Yeah, 3 horses.
10? No, 20. 10.
Okay, got it going on there, huh?
30,000. Then 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. So they came to Idumea and pitched their tents in Basura. And Judas met with them 10,000. Met with them 10,000. So they had 10,000 men.
20.
It was 20. Oh well, my bad. Let me recant that. Let me go back up. It says he had 70,000 men. So there was 60,000. 60,000. I'm sorry. 60,000 foot soldiers that's going against 10,000 of us, of our forefathers. Verse 30. And when he saw that mighty army, he prayed and said, Blessed art thou, O Savior of Israel, who didst quell the violence of the mighty man by the hand of thy servant David, and gavest the host of strangers into the hand of Jonathan the son of Saul, and his armor bearer. Shut up this army in the hand of thy people Israel, and let them be confounded in their power and horsemen. Man, faith, knowing the accounts of stuff, you asking them all. They ask him all the time. Remember what you did with David and how he subdued and all this. It was a great war. Do like you did when Saul, Jonathan, Saul's son, went to war and subdued and overpowered these great armies. Give us that same strength and power. He says, shut up this army in the hand of thy people Israel, and let them be confounded in their power and horsemen. Make them to be of no courage, and cause the boldness of their strength to fall away, and let them quake at their destruction. Cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. It says, cast them down with the sword of them that love thee. See, that won't work for us because we don't truly love the Most High. That's with any battle you're going through. Oh God, could you do this for me? God this and God that. I'm praying. But you don't love God because to love God, you got to keep His commandments. You got to be obedient. You got to be respectful. You got to have fear. But we don't possess that. We don't think we need that. Because, we didn't ran off with the trinkets of spoils in our war of life we lead. Continuing. Cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. So they joined battle, and there were slain of the host of Lysias about 5,000 men. Even before them were they slain. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went to Antiochia, and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he proposed to come again unto Judea. You're going to put in the flight. They running. He had to go get some more people. We need more. Need more.
This is a perfect example of how the Most High used to be for us, on our side.
This is what you read in. I'm aiming to cut you off.
No.
This is what you read in the book of Judah, when that Ammonite gives an account of the children of Israel.
On our side, just fight for us, sending angels to look out for us, to making sure. And people might say, well, why God just don't do such. That's not how He operates. You're looking at how He operates. He's doing it through you to give you the confidence, to show you He loves you, to show you He got Israel. He's doing it in a certain way, so it can be remembered, it can be the account of it. You don't think the Most High just watch wipe away a people, that's not even a thing. But to put it through us and to do it through our forefathers and to put it like we get to have an account that builds us up through the generations. It builds us up. It makes, like you just read, it makes them think of their foreparents. That look, I want to be like this foreparent, like so and so. God could have just put the Philistines to death, but what did he do? He used Samson. He used David. Like I said, he used Joshua. So these accounts are with us and always stay with us. And we're in an 8-day feast that has an account of our forefathers. Our foremothers that were around at the time, they were like, man, my husband, my son, my brother, my uncle, my father was valiant. You know, proud of your men. It's hard to be that today in today's world because our men are fighting for the enemy.
Yeah, we take flight and we
fight for the enemy. Don't want to fight at all. You know, but that's just the account was just it's a marvelous.
We're the ones that I read earlier in the other chapter where we'll let them go for some money. We let you slide for some bread. Sellout. That was a true sellout. They were bought off. But anyway, like it also goes with the scripture where it says, what was written aforetime was written for our learning, to give us hope. We don't have any hope. We don't have any faith. We don't believe that the Most High will fight for us, literally. He will put that in you, and he will send assistance. Because we read about that too. He sent 5 soldiers, 5 horsemen down there. And they putting folks to death.
Angels.
Okay, let's go back to it. First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 38:3 again. It says, cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. So they joined battle, and there was slain of the host of Lysias about 5,000 men. Even before them, they were slain. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready to either live or die valiantly, he went to Antiochus, and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was proposed to come against Judea. Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomforted. Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary. Here's when the Feast of Dedication was going to come about. And why? They said, hey, man, while we got them, they running, now we can take this time. Let's go up here and rededicate. Let's go clean up the sanctuary, man, that they done jacked up. Let's go get our temple back together. Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary was desolate, sanctuary desolate, and the altar profane, and the gates burnt up, and the shrubs growing in the courts, as in a forest or one in the mountains, yea, the priest's chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads. They saw this, man, they saw our temple and was like, what in the... Just imagine a torn down house or abandoned home where nobody has cut the grass for so long. Now that stuff's raised up so high. The shrubbery all everywhere, weed everywhere. And you like, man, this house is a mess. Then they on when the altar all tore up. They jacked our sanctuary up, our temple up. And these brothers rent their clothes. I ain't finna tear my clothes. I paid $50 for the Gucci. I paid $66 for this Israelite friend shirt. We ain't finna tear our clothes up. We not finna cast ashes upon me. I just got a fresh cut. I ain't finna put no ashes on me. They just dreaded my head. I just got my hair done. See, that's how serious and how our people really love their nation and they Most High, and how they had a contrite heart. We don't have that. We don't have no love for each other no more. let alone the Most High. Continuing, it says, verse 40. I'm in Maccabees 4 and 40, and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets, and cried towards heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the temple, the sanctuary. He said, "Hey, y'all keep fighting over here. Hold them up while we over here cleansing the temple." So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law. Y'all Negroes, y'all Israelite run around here talking about y'all Haitians and y'all the tribe of Levi, y'all the priests. Or y'all use the scripture, he gonna make us kings and priests. Y'all Negroes think y'all priests because y'all recite some scriptures. Blameless. Which one of you are blameless? Which one of you take pleasure in the law? That's what they had to vet that. They like, who don't have a bad name? Who's known to keep the law?
Pleasure.
Priests. And those priests, of course, was of Aaron's seed.
There were no other priests.
Y'all Negro think because you say you from the tribe of Levi, y'all priests. Y'all men because y'all priests. Cut it out. Stop playing with yourself and playing with the information in the world. Verse 43, who cleansed the sanctuary and bare out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane, they thought it best to pull it down, and lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it. Wherefore they pulled it down. So they took the altar up out of there and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them. Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former. You can go read that in Exodus chapter 20 and 25, and you can cross-reference with Deuteronomy 27 and 5 and Joshua chapter 8 about how to do the stones, how they did that, and made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hollowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings and incense and the table. And upon the altar they burnt incense, and the lamps were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might have give light in the temple. See right here? They had a candlestick, they had a menorah. They giving light in the temple. It went by, it's a story for Hanukkah is for 8 days. They didn't have any oil for the lights. So it's this little oil they had lasted 8 days. And y'all who listen to that and follow it because you don't go and read the accounts of it yourself. Shame on you. But you don't believe the Bible. But you believe what anybody else say. Continuing. Verse 51. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veils, and finished all the works which they had begun to make. Now on the 5th and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu. So the 9th month was called Caslu in this time where they was. And on the 25th day, so when we doing our Hebrew calendar, we actually in the 9th month. But the fact that you are in captivity and you are following the structure of a Gregorian calendar, because you're not going to call your mortgage company and say, well, this ain't the first of my month. I'm not paying my mortgage. No, you're going to pay that mortgage. You're going to pay that phone bill on the 1st or the whenever. You're going to pay that insurance according to the Gregorian calendar. So stop all that lip. Y'all need to stop that. We know the Hebrew calendar. We know how to follow it. That's how we keeping our feast days and things of that sort. So stop tripping. And don't be talking about, y'all think just because it fell around this time with these food following Christmas crap. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with the Most High. They don't stop that. They don't stop our high holy days because of their paganism. You do what you're supposed to do and keep it pushing. Nobody, stop worrying about these peoples. Verse 52 again, I'm in First Maccabees 4 and 52. Now on the 5th and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caselu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and citharins and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. How many of us fall down upon our face when we praying? Fall down to our face asking the Most High to pray for us as a whole. Oh, I forgot y'all look too cute to get down on y'all face. I ain't put my face on that floor. But anyway. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold. This don't mean you go deck your front door with gold. This was the temple. And it wasn't pulled down after it was over. It was up there till if it's still there. Don't they say, see, they deck the hall with falls of holly. La 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 la. That's y'all Hebrews talking about y'all gonna get lights and all this dressings and stuff y'all put up around y'all house around this time. Like, oh, that's a Hebrew house? I thought that was one of them Christmas homes. Nobody know the difference. Abstain from the appearance of evil. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren, with the whole congregation of Israel, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar shall be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with myrrh and gladness. So on the 9th month, on the 25th day of that month, we are to keep the Feast of Dedication for 8 days. That's the beginning of it on the 25th of the 9th month. And at that time, also they builded up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, and as they had done before. And they set their garrison in to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea. Now, there was some lengthy reading, but there was some nice, good history. That'll bring you forth to your heritage. Like, really?
And you see how Psalm 10, though it doesn't stand today, it is important to understand that when you see stuff like that, you're looking at, if you can try to envision it, you have to go back to when Solomon built it to envision what it looked like. And then think of your own home. Most of us don't let our, shrubbery and stuff grow up that far, but imagine it. You've seen a house. You've seen a house grow up, all the shrubbery, everything grow over it, and you can't hardly see the windows anymore. You gotta think, we had costly things in there. They had spoiled it. They had all kind of beautiful things. If you read about Solomon's temple, it was beautiful. And they had defiled it. They were putting it back there. So to even put yourself in a position and say this has something to do with Christmas, that's the blasphemy, the sheer spitting in your forefather's face, the lives lost,
the bloodshed,
the thing with see, they had conviction then. it connected.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they rent their clothes when they saw that. That's why they cast ashes on their head when they saw it. They couldn't believe what the temple, like you wonder, what if they were around there, why didn't they do it? You couldn't do it. It was a captivity even then.
Mm-hmm.
We was always under heathens at some point because we were always being wicked. So we were always having to deal with certain things.
Exactly.
And then when we were in our land, they didn't stop heathens from coming to want to take things. That just
they came and took it from us from our spot.
You see it today. You see a powerful country, see a more, a lesser people. They're gonna take what's theirs. But the thing with us is the Most High fought with us. I mean, why would you want that today? The Most High to start back fighting with us, fighting for us. You should want that. The Feast of Dedication is, when you say dedicated, it wasn't about your children. It wasn't about your husband or your wife. It wasn't about your mother or your father, your auntie, your uncles, your cousins, nephews, and nieces. They were rededicating the temple to the Most High. That's what that was about.
We always want to input ourselves and stuff because we're so vain. And we're so connected to this world. So we have to associate a lot of the paganism within our high holy days. A lot of us do that. A lot of our people do that. They put a little bit of that worldly stuff into the high holy days.
They just don't want to let it go.
To say, oh, this is for the children, so the kids won't feel like they're left out. That's a bunch of hogwash.
I just want to point that out. Talking about dedication. We know we can search social media right now and see a lot of y'all giving out gifts to your children.
They pull out names out of hats.
Giving out gifts to your children, your wives, your husbands.
They putting gifts.
We can see you with your menorah put up. Your gifts under it. We'll see your videos of what I got for Hanukkah, Feast of Dedication. No, brothers and sisters. Don't touch that paganism. That's nothing but Christmas. And somebody has called it Hanukkah.
I'm be honest. I don't care for the I don't you do what you want. It's not a law against it. I'm not too much into the picture taking of the spread and posting it because you got some of us who are scattered who won't be able to enjoy what we look at as this is a feast. And those people, it may discourage them from observing the law because they figure I didn't have this spread. I didn't have all this. Like them wicked Negroes during the pagan holiday of Thanksgiving.
Right.
These Negroes then created a YHWH'S Day, which all foolish Negroes will follow. But they show they spread. You want to show that y'all got some food. Then you had abominable foods there. So it's like, we don't do that. We don't have to. Now, like I said, you want to post your plate, that's your plate.
It's not, I think that you don't, how do I say, we aren't comfortable with being Israelites yet. And because we're not comfortable with being Israelites, we need to show a lot to feel like we're accepted. We have to show a lot to feel like we're doing something right. So a lot of us who Israel, we till the wheels fall off. We just live every day as Israelites. It's just every day. It's who we are. We don't need to know anyone to validate who we are, or how we are, or how much we are, or how Israelite we are. We don't need that. It's not important. And all we need to do is do the commandments. Every time the commandments come up, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You don't need everybody to know every time you keep a commandment.
Exactly.
But when you're insecure about who you are, when you're insecure about you're not really sure what you should be doing, you're not really sure about who you are, you're not confident in your connection with the Most High, you find that those are the people that do that a lot. Now, with that being said, as you say, it's not a sin. There is sin that lies in it because of the gainsaying or the
vanity
being seen in eyes of men. There are sins that it's a little like a undercurrent, we'll call it, that can sometimes take you under when you jump in. It looks calm enough, but when you jump into it, you start to sink a bit. So there is a bit of an undercurrent. So we will all just encourage brothers and sisters, just keep the commandments, sit in it. Sit in it. It's who you are.
Sister said, I saw a sister decorating her house.
Yeah, just sit in it. This is who we are. It's no different than anyone else. Stop thinking that you're some like you from outer space. We're the Israelites.
Hey, look at me. Look at us.
You have the Israelites. Go to Genesis 10. Look at the Table of Nations. They're still here. They're still here. They live in all different parts of the earth. They're still around. They're not out here trying to make you believe they're who they are. I've never known an Arab or a native Hamite to try to convince me that who they are.
They just be themselves.
They're just who they are. And so with us, we have to try to show that. And it's no wonder that we grasp onto worldly stuff and we don't want to let it go, because it's like, I need the world to know that I'm an Israelite. I need why is that necessary? Why is it necessary for anyone to know?
This is all we align ourselves with. I was asked, do we align ourselves with Zionism? No, we just align ourselves with the scriptures, keeping the commandments. That's it. No additives, no subtractions. But like you were saying, that's why I feel we should just be ourselves. Stop trying to prove. That's why me myself. This is not camp banging. I know how emotional y'all get when y'all talk about organizations and y'all think somebody dogging these brothers out and tearing down the so-called work that they do on the streets. But that's a bunch of vainglory. Just be yourself. Y'all men, y'all out there soldiers or whatever. Just be yourself. Be with your family. Teach your family to keep the structure and the ways of the Most High. It speaks for itself. You don't even see these people in Christianity out here on a large scale on certain days running out here talking about we represent what's Creflo thing called? They ain't out here talking about we world changers. We whatever big mega church. You don't even see the people in this falsehood out here trying to promote it like this. They just live their life that way. People see it and be like, oh, what do you and they have that personal conversation with these individuals, and them people may go in there and say, hey, I want to live my life according to what they doing. We need to do the same. Just be yourself. That's why it's important we don't even read, because you'll never find in these scriptures where the children of Israel, the Hebrews, the Israelites, was out on the highways and byways, as y'all want to use from the scriptures, talking about who they are as a people. You never see us out here trying to market who we are. Yeah, we've been discontinued. Man, it's the spirit. Your spirit will come to you and say, hey, see, we done tainted Jacob's name, in a sense. Right. With all this bravado, with all this marketing. People questioning it. They're looking at you as coats. You got these leaders belittling and manipulating and feminizing men, emasculating them, I meant. And but we can't speak on it because now it's hatred. No, Negro, cut it out. Be a man. Take care of your family. Keep the laws. Period. It ain't no extra need to be done. All praise. But yeah, we do too. We just won't be ourselves, man. We got to have the attention. We got to showcase. We got to brand our names, and man. But you know what? It is what it is. That's why when the Most High sent His Son back, they're gonna pluck the wheat from the tares. And a lot of us gonna be part of those tears with fringes on, long beards, long dresses, nice pretty head wraps. You gonna been on kept so many Sabbaths and new moons, and you didn't name yourself Hebrew onyx, and you're gonna be cast right in that lake of fire because of your proud spirit, your arrogant ways, your the way you treat your people, the way we don't come. Y'all want to use scripture talking about gathering together. Nobody can't gather. Gather with the Most High. Gather with the Most High first. Then everything else will come after that. Well, anyway, let's break bread. All praise to the Most High. Feast dedication. Happy Hanukkah to you brothers and sisters who are observing it. Stop. My advice: stop fighting with people, man, about the scriptures. Stop fighting people about the law. Just you. If you believe in keeping the law, keep it. Move on. I don't care if it's your family. I don't care if it's your co-worker. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy. I don't care who it is. If you're about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, I don't care if it's your children. Keep it and keep it pushing. Let them be what they be. They people gonna do what they want to do. We can't force nobody to keep the law. You keep the law. If that's your desire. If it's not, do you. Don't push your ways on other people. Don't be irritating. See, the brothers we just read about, they've been on cut y'all heads off. It already be dealt with.
Right.
Fortunately, the blessing of grace to get yourself together. People fail to realize we even have the power. See, we don't have. I digress. We don't have the power like Christ gave some of the apostles, disciples to heal and stuff. But one thing He gave us all from the Most High was the gift and the power to forgive sins. Sins that are done against us to each other. We can forgive it. Because we want the Most High to forgive us of our iniquities. We automatically assume He going to forgive us for our iniquities because we say we believe in Jesus. I believe in God. But when it comes to each other, we have no compassion. We don't want to forgive each other for nothing. We'll strangle each other. We'll character assassinate one another. We'll just go ham. But when it comes to the Most High, you think He's supposed to be merciful to you, and you won't be merciful to your own. But anyway, now like I said, them Maccabees and them brothers at them times, boy, you would be out here yelling at nobody. You know, rolled up on you, be like, what? Be like Nabal. Well, Nabal is a wicked man. You found out who he didn't want to help and give some portions to. Oh, that was David, man. You told them, no, we ain't doing it. What? David had a heart attack. Be careful who you deal with and how you deal with them. For I receive the Lord which I also deliver unto you. You want to say anything else, baby? For I receive the Lord which I also deliver, receive the Lord with that which I also deliver unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night which you betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he had took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink of this cup, you do show the Lord's death till He come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink of this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. So we break bread to remember Christ. We don't break bread just because we hungry. We remember Christ. We remember what his purpose, who he came to deliver, who he's going to come to deliver, the things he did. Go read about it and stop just thinking, guessing. All praise it. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. And I pray that you brothers and sisters who are observing, and I pray that you continue to follow the Most High. One thing for sure, you go in this book and follow it, follow the accounts, follow the ways that we supposed to. You can't go wrong. Now, when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came up to him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and so it poured on his head and said, "At me." But when his disciples saw, they had indignation, saying, "To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor." When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, "Why trouble ye the woman? For she has wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she has poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her." So Christ then was sitting out eating. Sister came, poured this expensive oil over, known as spikenard. Disciples, hey, we could have sold that, gave it to the poor. Christ understood what they was doing, what she was doing. He said, "Hey, whenever y'all go out here and preach this good news, the gospel, hey, you don't have to do these animal sacrifices anymore. You got to keep the commandments, but you don't have to come all the way to Jerusalem for these sacrifices that we was given." But anyway, when they go out there and teach that and preach that, they want to make this account what this sister had did preparing Christ for his burial, covering him with this oil known as spikenard. So with that, brothers and sisters, I pray that you continue to have a beautiful feast. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. I say shalom.
Shalom.